My Lords, it's a pleasure to follow the Noble Lord, Lord Krebs, and to thank the Noble Lord for bringing forward this terribly important bill, and to also thank Wildlife and Countryside Link, Green Alliance and Climate Action for comprehensive briefings on it. Not what you always see on a private member's bill when you think of the weight of backing that represents. I also want to encourage the Noble Lord, Lord Krebs, that we have no doubt that the graveyard slot means we don't have the numbers in this debate that we might have done. But there was a recent headline from Scientific America that notes that graveyards are surprising hotspots for biodiversity. So we can flower from this graveyard something rich and productive and great for the country and its health and well-being. So we are one of the most nature-depleted corners of this battered planet. That's something which I think over the past few years the public has increasingly come to understand. There's a great deal of concern about the state of our rivers and our seas, but there's also growing understanding about the state of our peatlands, both uplands and lowlands. My social media feeds sometimes seem to be entirely full of people desperately fighting to protect an ancient tree that's not only very valuable to a community, but also an absolute, we know, a hotspot of biodiversity. There's a huge public concern to actually deliver the Climate Change Act of 2008 and the Environment Act of 2021, but it is patently obvious, as the Noble Lord has already set out, that we are not seeing the delivery. Now, any one thing cannot possibly, any one act of Parliament, any one action can't possibly deliver that. A couple of other things that come to mind that we desperately need is the much-promised land use framework. I was at an event at the Westminster Forum this week with a large number of members of your Lordship's House focused on that. I would also suggest that we need to see our Treasury not given a target for GDP growth, but instead given something like the New Zealand Living Standards framework, so the environment is at the absolute heart of everything the Treasury does. But nonetheless, as the Noble Lord has already set out to us, we have a whole set of bodies who are absolutely crucial to getting us at least in the right direction for our climate and nature targets. And they are not currently equipped. They don't have the statutory framework to make it happen, and that's essentially what this bill does. And if we think about the evidence for that, what we've seen recently under two governments, new oil and gas projects, new roads, airport expansion, the destruction of ancient woodland, the destruction of those valuable trees I was talking about. And I do want to stress particularly the importance for local authorities. I'm a Vice President of the Local Government Association. They have to be properly resourced to play their full part, which they're not now, and this bill would help with that. The Green Party offers its strongest possible support for this bill.